Okay, I've got a question for everybody watching this video. Do you fully assess the lie before you hit your shot, or do you just look at the distance and play the standard golf shot? There's a huge importance on understanding the actual lie that you're about to play with, the distance, the wind direction, the type of grass, the type of lie. So much can influence the outcome of this shot and make a massive difference to your scores. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about these three different lies. Now, we've got one that's sat up really nice. I'm at the top of a hill, so it's very much below my feet. I've got one that's slightly below my feet, but it's in a bad lie. It's kind of stuck in between where the grass has kind of died in the middle, which you get a lot on a lot of golf courses. And then I've got a kind of what I'd say is a more standard lie in this semi-rough. Now, the lie makes a huge difference because I'm sure you've all heard of flyers or jumpers, and that can make the ball travel a lot further. That generally happens when the grass gets stuck between club face and ball, and that's an issue. That is an issue. You take all the spin off the club, and with all the power you've put on the ball, that ball just flies. And when it lands as well, it doesn't stop. It's super fast off the club face, super fast on landing, and can often be 1 or 2 club lengths longer through the air, which is what a massive problem. And to be honest with you, it's not something that you can overly legislate for, but it is definitely something that you can be wary of and maybe make a club selection difference or hit the ball in a slightly different way. Ball below the feet, well, as we often know, curves the ball. When it's below the feet for the right-handed golfer, it curves the ball from left to right. Also makes it very difficult to consistently strike the ball and strike the ball well. So we're going to start with this one. So if I take my standard setup, that's kind of where I want to be. So you can kind of see how much lower the ball is from the below my feet. So I need to now adjust my posture. So I'm assessing the lie straight away. I've got 175 into the flag. I feel like this is not going to massively influence the distance on the ball. I've got the wind actually off my back, so it's going from left to right, ball below the feet. And what I'm going to do to set up, I'm just going to stick my backside out more basically. I'm going to accentuate my posture a little bit more. I'm going to lean a little bit more. I'm going to get my weight more into the balls of my feet. Make sure your weight's not sat into the heels, because one of the worst things you can do is you start to come into impact, is start to work the spine angle away from the ground, which will make you top the ball. So really important to try and get down into the golf ball as well. So I often get the body weight moving in towards this left side, a little bit more knee flex, a little bit more hip flex, get the weight into the left side, so I'm encouraging strike. And again, with every single golf shot we ever hit, impact position is the most important by an absolute country mile. So I've got to make sure here that I can rehearse a good impact position, so really get a feel that I'm rehearsing a good impact. I've made a little adjustment on posture. I've hit it really solid as well. And one of the things I've not done really is allowed too much for the left to right shape, because I've made myself a similar angle to the ball. I've changed my posture angle to the golf ball to actually encourage the ball to fly a bit straighter. I don't want to see the ball move too much from left to right, because not only am I trying to judge distance, it's going to be difficult to actually adjust for the length of the shot based on the amount of curvature. Now this second shot is tricky. I'm right in between the kind of the weeds in the grass. So you see this on a lot of golf courses where you've got lovely grass, and it just kind of sits down either into that grass depending on the type of grass, or it can go in between 2 different types of grass. And that's a tricky lie. Now, one of the things we often talk about for ball striking is angle of attack. Now you can imagine this golf ball now is below the level of the ground. That's as you see it. Okay, so we've got to try and make sure our angle of attack is a little bit steeper, but we don't want to lose too much height. So what I often do here is try and take 1 extra club, and I try and steepen my angle of attack. So I'm steepening my angle of attack to get down into the back of the golf ball, because no matter what shot you're trying to play, strike is always number 1. The number 1 importance will always be strike. So I want to make sure I strike it. Now, as my angle of attack comes down steeper, I'm probably going to deal off the club face, which potentially could send the ball a bit further. And as I was talking at the start of the video, I could potentially get a flyer as well. So I'm trying to really stay away from the possibility of getting a flyer. So I'd take an extra club, Again, the ball's below my feet here, so I'm gonna just accentuate my posture a little bit more, but I'm actually gonna get a little bit closer to the ball this time. I'm gonna get my sternum, I'm gonna get my upper body a little bit more over the top of the ball, so it's encouraging my arms to really work down in a much steeper way. And you should see now, in comparison to the previous shot, you should see a bigger divot, because I'm now conscious that I need to get down to that ball. Ball's popped out really, really low in comparison to the shot before it, and now it's running. I've taken one extra club and it's just running up the hill. Finished a little bit short of the green, but I've got out of a really bad lie, and that's one of the key things. We've got to get out of these lies. It's all well and good just trying to take a normal setup and shot, and if I thin it or top it, I'm going to find myself in one of these greenside in one of these fairway bunkers. And as we all know, it's nice when we arrive in the rough and we've got a relatively standard shot. There's nothing better, but we've still got to assess it. Wind's off the back, ball's below the feet. I still need to give this shot some respect. Even if you feel like it's not really a difficult shot, I'm just going to move it just for the camera angle. Even if you feel like it's not really a difficult shot, you've got to assess you've got to assess it. Always assess it. What's the lie like? What is the wind doing? What's the grass like? Is it thick? Will I lose distance? Can I gain distance? What will this shot do to the ball? So again, number one importance, what is it? Impact. One of those. So impact is massively important. I often rehearse the position I'm trying to get into. Ball's slightly below my feet, so I've just dropped down into my posture a little bit. I'm going to keep my lower body nice and solid, use my upper body. Oh, that's a lovely strike. Go on, get up there. Oh, beautiful. Love that. Okay guys, so I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please, as ever, drop into the comment section below. I want to know your routine. Do you assess the lie? I asked it at the start of the video. Now you've kind of seen how I assess the lie. Do you do that, or do you do something similar? Because it does make a difference to where you're aiming, to the club selection that you're using, also to what you're expecting from the outcome as well. Guys, as ever, please do hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video.